everyone, myself Yogita R. Today I am going to discuss a Django program which is date and time. Django, the popular Python web framework, provides robust support for working with date and time. Whether you are building a calendar application, a scheduling system, or need to display time sensitive information on your website, Django's date and time features make it easy to handle this common task. In this, we will explore the various tools and techniques available in Django for working with date and time, from the built-in data time module to advanced time zone support and database storage. Date time module in Python. The date time module in Python is a powerful tool for working with date and time. It provides classes like datetime, date, time, and time delta that allow you to create, manipulate, and perform calculations on date and time data. This module forms the foundation for Django's date and time handling capabilities. Key classes. The main classes in the datetime module are datetime. It represents a specific date and time. Date. It represents a specific date without a time component. Time. It represents a specific time without a date component. Time delta. It represents a duration of time. Commonly used methods. Some of the most commonly used methods in the datetime method include now. It returns the current date and time. Today. It returns the current date. Time zone support in Django. Awareness. Django's datetime and time classes are aware, meaning they include information about the time zone associated with the date and time. This is crucial for applications that need to handle data across different time zones accurately. Time zone configuration. Django's time zone support is configured through the time zone settings variable. This setting specifies the default time zone for the application, and it's most important to set this correctly to ensure that date and time are displayed correctly. Time zone conversion. Django provides built-in functions like makeAware and makeNav to convert between aware and nav datetime objects. This allows your application to handle time zone information seamlessly, ensuring that date and times are displayed correctly for users in different locations. Representing dates and times in Django. Django.util.timezone. Django's time zone module provides utilities for working with time zones, including functions like now to get the current time in the default time zone, and isAware and isNav to check the time zone awareness of a datetime object. Date field and time field. Django's ORM includes date and time specific field types such as date field and time field that automatically handle the conversion and storage of date and time data in the database. Date time field. The date time field is a powerful field type that combines date and time information, allowing you to store and retrieve data and time data with ease. It automatically handles time zone conversion and normalization. Time delta. Django support for the Python time delta class makes it easy to perform date and time calculations such as adding or subtracting days, hours, or minutes from a datetime object. Formatting date and time in templates. Template filters. Django provides a range of template filters that allow you to format date and time in your templates, including date, time, and datetime filters. These filters give you gained control over the appearance of date and time information on your website. Localization. Django's template filters also support localization, allowing you to display date and time in the user's preferred format and language. This is especially important for applications that serve a global audience. Time zone awareness. When displaying date and time in templates, it's important to ensure that the information is presented in the correct time zone. Django's template filters automatically handle time zone conversion, making it easy to display time-sensitive data correctly. Working with time zones in Django. Time zone database. Django's time zone support is built on the IANA, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, time zone database, which provides a comprehensive and up-to-date source of time zone information. This ensures that your application can handle time zone changes and daylight saving time adjustments accurately. Time zone conversion. Django's time zone module provides a variety of functions for converting between time zones, including local time to convert a datetime object to local time zone and activate to set the current time zone for the duration of a block of code. User preferences. For applications that allow users to set their own time zone preferences, Django makes it easy to store and retrieve this information. By associating a user's time zone with their account, your application can display date and time in their local time, providing a personalized and intuitive experience. Handling user input for date and time. Form fields. Django's form system includes specialized field types for handling date and time input, such as date field, time field, and date time field. These fields automatically handle user input validation and conversion to the appropriate date time objects. Input parsing. Django's date and time fields can parse a wide range of input formats, including standard ISO format as well as more human-readable formats. This makes it easy to accept date and time input from users in their preferred format. Time zone awareness. When handling date and time input, it's important to consider the user's time zone. Django's form fields can automatically handle time zone conversion, ensuring that the input is stored and processed correctly, regardless of the user's location. Now let us see the program. Django admin, start project, and our project name. Let us say our project name is datetime. So we have to create the project using this command. To create an app using Python 3 manage.py start app and our app name. Let us consider that our app name is data. So we have to create an app using this command. Then we have to migrate to our project. So cd datetime project. Now let us see the code. So in the datetime project, we have to go to settings.py, and in settings.py, in the installed apps, we have to add our app name. Here our app name is datetime app, so we have added here. Then next, let us go to the urls.py. This is the urls.py. Here the first line from django.contrib import admin means that this imports Django's admin module. The admin module is used to manage the site administrative interface where site administrators can add, edit and delete the data. From django.urls import include path. This means these functions are used to define URL patterns for the application. Then URL pattern. The URL patterns equals, this starts the definition of the URL patterns list. This list holds the URL patterns that route incoming requests to the appropriate view functions. Path admin, admin.site.urls means that this line adds another URL pattern to the URL patterns list. Then path include function is used to include another URL configuration in the project. In this case, it's including the URL patterns from the datetime app.urls module. Now let us go to the datetime app. Here in the datetime app we have templates. In this template we have current datetime.html. So this current date.html is used to print the current date and time. Now let us go to the apps.py. In this, from django.apps import app configuration app config. This imports the app_config class from Django's apps module. Then class datetime_app_config means that this defines a new class datetime_app_config that inherits from Django's app_config class. Default autofill means that this sets the default autofill attribute to Django.db.models.bigAutofill. Name equals datetime_app. This sets the name attribute of the datetime_app_config class to the datetime_app. Now let us go to the urls.py. In this, from Django.urls import path, this imports the path function from Django's URL module. The path function is used to define URL patterns. From .import views, this imports the views module from the current package. The views module contains the few functions that handle requests and return responses. URL patterns. This starts the definition of the URL patterns list. This list holds the URL patterns that route incoming requests to the appropriate view functions. This path means that this line adds a URL pattern to the URL patterns list. It maps the root URL to the current datetime view function defined in the views module. The name argument gives this URL pattern a name current datetime, which can be used to refer to this URL pattern elsewhere in the project. Now let us see the views.py. In views.py from Django.shortcut import render, this imports the render function from Django shortcuts module. The render function is used to combine a template with a context dictionary and return an HTTP response. From Django.utils import timezone. This imports the timezone module from Django's utils. The timezone module provides utilities for working with date and time. Def current datetime of request. This defines a view function named current datetime that takes an HTTP request object as its argument. This function will handle incoming requests to the associated URL pattern. Now equals timezone.now. This line retrieves the current date and time as a timezone aware datetime object and assigns it to the variable now. And the last line means that it combines the template datetime_app/current datetime.html with a context dictionary containing the current date and time. The render function takes three arguments: request, the original HTTP request object, datetime_app or current datetime.html, the part to the template that will be used to render the response, and the current datetime now, a context dictionary where current datetime is the key and now is the value. This dictionary will be used to pass data to the template. So now we'll run the program. So the command for running the program is python 3 manage.py run server. So as we see, now we have run the program. So as we see, we have got the output of the current date and time. Thank you.